This is Sakari, a polar wolf. Her kind are the toughest dogs on Earth. Sakari belongs to an incredible predator family. And we are about to see their world like never before. These predator families rule our planet. For the very first time, we reveal their astonishing superpowers like never before. The high Arctic, the last solid ground before the North Pole. Even in summer, conditions are unrelentingly harsh. The few that live here must work hard to stay alive. One predator rules this land. The polar wolf. This is Sakari. At 6 years old, weighing over 50 pounds, she is already a proven survivor. Sakari is the leader of her close-knit family, including 4 hungry youngsters. These boisterous teenagers must each wolf down 20 pounds of food a week. If Sakari can raise just 2 of her brood to adulthood, she'll be doing well. It's been 5 long days since the family last ate. In this dog-eat-dog world, Sakari must gamble to feed her family. Muskoxen. A polar wolf's greatest prize, but armed with horns and weighing more than 700 pounds, they are a formidable enemy. A single bone-shattering kick from one of these aggressive titans could kill her. And in their well-drilled defensive huddle, they have the clear advantage. Sakari is looking for weakness. An injured animal, perhaps, or a youngster. But these adults are all too strong. Sakari must find a weaker herd if her family is going to eat. finding one is easier said than done in this vast, empty arena. But Sakari has an extraordinary ability to help her take on this mission impossible. And her secret? Her nose. She hasn't come up here just for the view. This exposed ridge is an ideal place to catch the wind, and now Sakari can unleash her superpower. Her nose is packed with over 280 million scent receptors. So to her, this seemingly empty landscape is in fact awash with invisible clues. She can detect a scent trail from nearly 2 miles away, able to track her next meal from a single scent molecule. As she sniffs the wind, each of her nostrils are operating independently. Which means she can not only identify what a particular smell is, she can also detect exactly where it is coming from. She's picking up the scent of another herd, over 1.5 miles to the east. She can even tell the fitness of the musk oxen. But musk oxen are constantly on the move and can vanish into this tundra. Fortunately for her, they can't help but leave a gold mine of useful aromas. Millions of their hair and skin cells constantly shower the ground. Even their footprints create beacons of scent, thanks to glands on their hooves. And their high-fiber diet leaves lingering traces of gas. All the clues that Sakari needs to find them. But in this wind-swept land, scent trails do not linger. So with her family depending on her, keeping her nose to the ground, Sakari dials up her smelling power. Even after 1 mile, she is still locked on the scent. But fortune is not on her side. The winds conspire, and the trail is completely blown apart. It looks like the pack will go hungry again. But Sakari has another superpower. One that is even more surprising. Thermal detection. Triggering at short range, tiny sensors on her nose are activated by body heat. So even though Sakari can't see the musk oxen, she is sensing their heat radiating from their bodies. They are just beyond the ridge. But now, the real hard work begins. Sakari's senses are so heightened, she can even smell fear in the sweat of the muskoxen. If she can get them on the run, she will have the advantage. In their dense coats, the muskoxen easily overheat, and the weak fall behind. Sakari can run at 40 miles per hour over the bone-breaking tundra and can take down prey 5 times her size. This 150,000 calorie meal means Sakari and her whole family survive another week in this hostile wilderness. And all because she possesses one of the most sensitive noses on Earth. A nose that can detect her prey, their weaknesses, and even the heat radiating from their bodies. The dog dynasty is more than just a killer nose. Existing for over 40 million years. 35 different faces make up this dynamic family. And their superpowers have enabled them to reach global domination. From the Arctic to the desert. There is one famous face with the most amazing superhero power on Earth. Polar wolves are one of the world's toughest predators, relying on their super smell to track down their prey. But the dog family's success is built on much more than a nose. Here in the United States, you'll find one member who has a superpower only superheroes could dream of. It's deep winter in Yellowstone National Park. Temperatures plummet to 40 below, putting life on hold for many predators. While some take a long nap to survive the big freeze, one supremely adaptable assassin is out on the hunt, even in winter. The red fox. Originally from Europe, they are taking America by storm. His name is Tokala. Weighing 11 pounds, he is one of the smallest in the dog family. A small stomach means he must hunt often to sustain his energy. Though he possesses a sense of smell as good as the polar wolves, right now it is useless, as the prey he wants is hidden 3 feet under a frosty blanket. Tokala's ears can pick up the faintest scamper from beneath the snow. Takala is about to up his game. He has a remarkable superpower, turning this empty snowscape into an unlikely land of opportunity. Because Takala can sense the Earth's magnetic field. Invisible to us, these electric-like currents above him are constantly generated by the gravitational pull of the North Pole. And Takala can detect the direction of the magnetic lines because a protein in his eye activates. This triggers a magnetic rangefinder in his vision, like his own personal compass. So now when Takala senses sound above ground, he can use his magnetic rangefinder to calculate and plot his trajectory from it. The kind of math missiles use to hit their targets. Homing his magnetic rangefinder in on the sound waves made by the rodent, Takala now knows exactly how far he needs to leap to land on top of his victim. Even in the air, Takala is using his tail to minutely adjust his flight path, whilst never taking his eyes off the prize. By exploiting the Earth's magnetic field, this fantastic Mr. Fox increases his success by almost 75%. It's extraordinary abilities like these that have helped the red fox become the most widespread carnivore on the planet. But they can't compete with one dog that goes toe-to-toe with the biggest carnivores on Earth and still comes out on top. Africa, a deadly battleground, packed with the most predators on Earth. Incredibly, living alongside these apex heavyweights is a member of the canine family, the painted dog. These fast and streamlined killers are ripping up the rule book. In Africa, these badlands are ruled by predatory titans that ambush their victims. But one superpowered dog competes with them all, having developed its own unique hunting strategy. This is Kaya, a painted dog. Weighing only 60 pounds, she is 5 times lighter than a lioness. At 8 years old, Kaya is the experienced leader of the Dango pack. And her success reflects in their ever-growing size. Second in command is her eldest daughter, Zola, who has not left her mother's side since she was a pup. Maybe one day, she'll lead this family. To keep the pack this size, every dog needs to consume a tenth of its body weight daily. The pressure to provide all rests on the shoulders of Kaya. Her pack have not eaten in 3 days. They need to make a kill. But Kaya isn't built to ambush prey like the big cats and crocodiles. Instead, she plays a longer game. Painted dogs are endurance runners. Her strategy is based on super stamina. The Dango Pack's territory is the size of Los Angeles. On today's hunt, they've already covered 15 miles. But not everything is on the menu. Painted dogs are perfectly built for hunting over long distances. Kaya's powerful legs are packed with special slow-twitch muscle fibers. Her muscles are expanding and contracting, meaning Kaya can just keep on going. With her economy mode engaged, Kaya has the endurance of an ultra-marathon runner. She can be on the hunt for hours and never tire. A herd of impala. Just one would feed the whole family. Impala reach speeds of up to 50 miles per hour and scatter in all directions. Aiming to lose the dogs among the trees. Daughter Zola keeps eyes on the whole herd, anticipating the next move. While Kaya goes straight in for the kill. But like all good marathon runners, Kaya has a sprinter's finish. In her muscles, the fast twitch fibers activate so she can now match the speed of the impala. Deep within is stored a special source of energy, glycogen. This rocket fuel gives her an explosive boost. Making painted dogs the fastest dog on the planet. The problem is, she has a limited supply. To make matters worse, a charging bull elephant disrupts the chase, accidentally helping the impala escape. And with nothing left in the tank, Kaya's hunt is over. But painted dogs are the most successful predator in the world, not just because they have super-powered muscles. It's also the fact they are never alone. Kaya's eldest daughter, Zola, is taking the lead. She kept her eyes on the target and still has energy in her sprinting muscles. Zola has what it takes to be the queen of this mighty pack one day. With 4 out of 5 hunts ending in a kill, painted dogs have the highest hunting success rate of any predator. Living in big packs is what we expect of dogs. But that doesn't mean they can't go it alone. This treacherous land is whipped by ferocious blizzards and abandoned by the sun. Yet for Ragnar, a 2-year-old Arctic fox, extreme conditions are normal. This is home sweet home. Arctic foxes are this island's only native carnivore. Spring is approaching. A new challenge is on the horizon: to find a mate. Trouble is, to attract a female out here, he faces a demanding selection process. So Ragnar will have to dig deep to prove his killer credentials. Protected by one of the warmest coats of any animal, Ragnar the Arctic fox has toughed out the harsh Icelandic winter. With his fat reserves running low, Ragnar must find the strength to pass his most important test of all. To continue his bloodline, he must win himself a female. But to be successful, he's going to have to complete a challenging selection process. Because it's the females who call the shots. Arctic foxes pair for life, which could mean a 6-year partnership. This young vixen is looking for the fittest fox she can find. First up, Ragnar must prove his stamina. Springing into action, he clocks an impressive 30 miles an hour. Vetting him closely, Vixen is looking for any telltale injuries that could indicate poor health. Arctic foxes are one of the only dogs to have fur on the bottom of their feet, giving a good grip on frozen terrain and helping to avoid frostbite. So far, so fit. This fox in socks has passed his physical. But the second challenge is lurking in the shadows. Ragnar is not the vixen's only suitor. A silver fox. Ragnar will have to fight for her. Like a true hero, Ragnar is seeing off the competition. He has passed the physical and won the duel. Surely he has won the paw of his chosen. It seems not. She has one more test for him to pass. After months of scarcity, the vixen is hungry. She'll need to be in top condition to produce a litter. She wants proof that Ragnar is a good hunter to provide for her pups. Trouble is, at this time of year, the Icelandic pickings are slim. But cunning Ragnar has an ace to play. Back in the summer, when prey was abundant, Ragnar went into predatory overdrive. Stashing extra food in underground pantries. So to complete his final challenge and win the vixen's heart, he's going to deploy the most extraordinary dog superpower of them all. Digging deep into his mind, he's recalling the locations of all his buried treasure. Over 100 frozen stashes with nearly 1,000 carcasses. Ragnar possesses an incredible mental map of every single one of them. Being able to remember where you've stockpiled food is a winning survival skill. A fillet of fish is the perfect gift to seal the deal. And he has passed the final challenge. The vixen will go on to have as many as 5 pups, all of them with the physical prowess and resourcefulness of their father. This is what it takes to survive in this hostile land. Arctic foxes are not the only lone rangers in the dog family. There's one who has developed the most bizarre hunting tactics to make it to the top and become an apex predator. Legs of a deer, ears of a bat, face of a fox. A maned wolf. This is Alto, the tall one. This long-legged killer is the tallest member of the dog family and isn't closely related to any of his canid cousins. Rarely seen or filmed and found only in South America. The maned wolf is an enigma, leading a secretive life with his own unique secret powers. Alto patrols up to 10 miles in his never-ending quest for food. Being so big, he needs to consume 1,500 calories daily to maintain his top dog status. This habitat looks lush, but don't be deceived. With little large game living here, Alto must rely on more modest prey to keep himself fueled. Rodents. But they are fast, and in a habitat with plenty of hiding places, they can disappear in a flash. But Alto has a superpower to combat this. Supercharged hearing. Each of Alto's huge ears contains 18 muscles, 3 times as many as ours, allowing him to rotate them individually 160 degrees. Their oversized design allows him to hear sound in the ultrasonic spectrum. High-pitched sound waves beyond the limit of human hearing. Alto can register thousands of these noises every second. And his superpowers can even go one better. The rodent scamper isn't drowned out in this world of chatter. All the time, Alto's brain is filtering out the babble, giving him laser-like focus and the location of his target. But there's a catch. The rodent is moving into thicker cover, making it tricky to attack. To survive another day in this barren wilderness, Alto is going to need to use a shocking new superpower. Alto, the maned wolf, is desperate for a meal. The prey he craves is hidden in the dense vegetation. But Alto has a trick up his long sleeves. Maned wolves deploy a strategy like no other. Shockwave hunting. Stomping the ground forcefully. Alto is sending shockwaves through the terrain. A tactic. Flushing out the hiding mouse. So even though this is just an appetizer, with his unique ears and his hunting technique, Alto can catch as many as 50 rodents a day, easily giving him the calories he needs to conquer a landscape where others would fail. Dogs have conquered the most extreme territories on Earth, but there is one place that appears to be a stretch too far. To survive here, you'll need to keep a cool head, or you'll be toast. Caked with salt. dry as a bone, and hot as hell. This is one of the harshest places on Earth. Its very name spells doom. Remarkably, one member of the dog clan makes its home here. Meet Maverick. He knows how to live life on the edge, as only a coyote can. Often mistaken for Cousin Wolf, he's smaller and leaner. To survive, Maverick needs to find at least a pound of food a day. But it's hardly a feast out here. And with every passing second, the heat is building. Strangely, Coyote's fur coat can actually help it keep cool. Pale in tone, it's reflecting the sun's rays away from his body. And this fur traps the cold night air against his skin. Maverick's pelt acts as a kind of chill blanket, buying him more time to forage. But by noon, this superheated desert is the hottest place on Earth. A 130-degree broiler that could literally cook his brains. Maverick, though, has a way to protect his most precious asset. Breathing fast, he inhales the dry desert air through his nostrils. More than just a nose, his long snout contains a dense labyrinth of passages, lined with wet membranes. And as the dry air flows through, it acts like a cooling breeze on damp skin, sucking out the heat from adjacent blood vessels. The freshly cooled blood flows to Maverick's brain, while Maverick expels the hot, moisture-laden air through his mouth. But all this panting is drying him out. And so by mid-afternoon, Maverick is desperate for a drink. Pioneers once passed this way, in search of Californian gold, but Maverick would settle for a puddle of dirty water. Instead, he's about to hit the jackpot. As far as he can tell, the two-legged creatures with sticks aren't dangerous. So he sidles down to the water hazard to quench his thirst. Like all coyotes, Maverick is quick to hustle an opportunity. But he's not the only wily coyote out here. When food is abundant, coyotes often join forces to defend a shared territory. And at this members-only club, trespassers are not welcome. Maverick may be outnumbered, but for a drifter living on his wits, this kind of trouble is par for the course. If he's going to steal a meal, he'll need to sneak around the back and time his raid perfectly. Like a pro, Maverick has hit a birdie on the 9th. It'll be enough to keep him going. But he too needs to watch his back and melt back into the desert before he's jumped. Coyotes are the ultimate opportunists, as well as finding ways to survive in the desert. They've also spread into farmlands and even cities, infiltrating almost the whole of North America. They embody the pioneering spirit of a family that never gives up. Tough, enterprising, and utterly relentless. Of all the great predators, none has triumphed as widely as Brand Canine.